Mhm. All right, I can shut it down now, right? Or... Not. All right. Yeah, I've made a few co-hosts. Jill, can you hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
I've made a few co-hosts. Jill, you need the.
Yes, Your
Would you like to make me co-host, Judge?
Yes, I'm going to do that right now. We have. Yes, because you have to close the Zoom. Who's Mr. Peña? Oh, I thought it was Bella. Let's go ahead and let the attorneys, I guess, everyone in so we can take announcements, and that way the jail can get a list of who does not have to be brought out. Defense bar, I'll take announcements regarding defendants that do not have to be brought out. So you have an agreed continuance or reset. I'll take those up now. Start off with the court in which your case is pending.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, who's this?
This would be for the 406 on page 4, Jesse Aron Garza. He's in custody for a misdemeanor.
Wait, hold on. Page 4 of the 406?
Correct.
Okay.
And so I just got an offer, so we don't have anything ready for the present case that he's.
This is Jesse Aron Garza?
Correct.
Did you say misdemeanor? I have a second degree.
Yeah, he
felony.
picked up a misdemeanor. The reason why he's in custody, he's not in custody for the pending case before the 406.
Oh, okay. So we don't need to bring him out, Jesse Garza?
No, sir.
All right, Jail, did you get that? Jesse Garza does not have to be brought out.
Yes, Your Honor, we got it.
All right, any other cases? Anyone else?
Your Honor, for Jesse Aron Garza, when would the reset be?
Shoot. Miss Nandila?
I guess if we could have maybe, but I'm not sure what's happening with his misdemeanor, which is the reason why he's in custody. If we could just not follow normal, I'm sure he'll be out by then.
Well, is he gonna plea? I mean,
I just got the offer. I need to go speak with him about it.
all right, we'll give you about 30 days and we'll reset. I mean, I guess you were set for final, we'll reset the final pretrial for 30 days. Marco, what do we have for the regular docket?
June 7th, Your Honor, at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. All right, let's do that.
That would work. Thank you.
All right, sorry, yeah. All right, any other announcements, agreed resets? Anyone?
Judge, this is Alma.
Hey, Alma.
Okay, I don't know if Fernando told you that the two cases that Juan Garcia has, the Rogelio Rene Hernandez, it's the first one's on page 1.
No.
Okay, Mr. Garcia is out ill. You have the pleas there, so we just need to reset them.
Ooh, so like how ill is he? We have,
I don't know. He called the office. I wasn't there. He called the office and spoke to Fernando.
so.
We weren't giving a timeline, Judge.
What?
We were not giving a timeline to his illness.
Well, let's do this. Let's set it for April 26th,
Okay, April 26th at 9 a.m. with Judge Hale.
9:30.
At what time?
9:30 is what it says here for,
Yes, 9:30. Yeah, 9:30.
9:30 for a plea. All right.
Yeah, just let the jail know that we don't need him.
They're on.
Okay.
Your Honor, was that for Rogelio Hernandez?
Right.
Okay, we got it.
Any other announcements or agreed resets? All right, let's start with who they have. We don't have that many, all things considered. Who do we have in the elevator room at the jail?
Your Honor, we have Joanna.
Joanne, and what court, please?
She's in the 49th from the add-on.
Page 4, Your Honor.
The court calls 2022 CRM 779D1, the state of Texas versus Joanne Vega. And good afternoon, Ms. Vega. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
And who's here for Ms. Vega?
Ms. Vargas, Your Honor, I'm here.
All right, I guess there was a KPS issued for non-appearance. Is that what happened?
Yes, Your Honor, there was. I've spoken to my client and I guess she could address the court if the court wishes, but what she told me was that she had a couple of people pass away very close to her boyfriend, her uncle, and it was just a bad situation for her. She was given a probation offer. She did sign a plea packet. It's been filed with the court. So we are ready to proceed on that plea today, and we'd ask for the KPS to be addressed, and
Is it
that she just be placed back on her bond. Obviously, it was executed, but so that she can start probation, Your Honor.
no, yeah, but I don't have the plea package.
Oh, it was filed today.
Let me
I don't
confirm,
know.
Your Honor, if it's on file.
I can print it out for you, Judge. I'll take it to you in a second.
Okay, so,
Yes, Your Honor, it's on file.
well, if she's gonna plead out, do we need I mean, I can just put a $6,000 PR bond now for the purposes of disposition. But I don't know that we have to, but,
Right.
so, Ms. Vega, I'm gonna go ahead and put a PR bond, so you're either gonna get out because you plead today, but if you don't, it sounds like you're going to, you'll be out, okay? I just authorized a 6,000 PR bond.
Your Honor, would you like me to share the plea packet?
If you could put it on the screen, that'll be good. Ms. Vega, do you understand English?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Your
so,
Honor, I apologize. It's been disabled for me to share.
oh, hold on, I think I have to.
Judge, if I may.
There we go. Okay, so Ms. Vega, I'm gonna ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And Ms. Vega, your attorney just told me that you have an agreement with the district attorney's office and that you're gonna enter into a plea. Is that your understanding?
Sir.
Okay, have you had enough time to talk to your attorney about your case and what's gonna happen here today?
Yes.
Have you been satisfied with the services Ms. Vargas has provided?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you need to tell me that prevents you from understanding what's happening today?
No.
And Ms. Vargas, do you believe your client is competent to go forward? today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Ms. Vega, I have the plea package now in front of me, and in here, you're telling me that you're giving up certain rights. I'm going to cover a few of those to make sure you understand some of those rights that you're giving up, okay? Do you understand that? Okay. So the first right you're giving up is the right to remain silent. You do not have to be guilty today. You have the right to have a jury hear your case and a jury to assess your punishment. Do you understand that you're giving up those rights?
Yes.
Also, if there were witnesses and evidence that were going to be presented at trial against you, you have a right to confront those witnesses and evidence at trial. You're giving up that right as well. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Also, if I go along with this agreement and I approve it and I give you the punishment along the lines of what you have agreed to, you cannot complain about that punishment to a higher court unless you get special permission from this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have to warn you about the maximum punishment a person can get in the state of Texas if they're found guilty of a felony 3 in Texas. The maximum punishment a person could get is a term between 2 to 10 years in a state prison and a fine not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I also have to ask everyone this question. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And I understand that you're telling me that you are a U.S. citizen, but again, I have to tell everyone, if you are not a U.S. citizen and you plead guilty, you're subject to deportation, denied the right of reentry into the United States, and can be denied the right to become a U.S. citizen. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Knowing all these things that we just talked about, do you still want to go forward with your plea of guilty?
Yes, sir.
So I have in front of me the package that was submitted to me. Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes.
Do you have any questions about that package? Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. And did you sign it after your attorney explained what was in here?
Yes.
Is the state going to be offering this in the evidence?
We do, Your Honor. Paul Thompson for the state.
Any objections?
No objections from defense, Your Honor.
States 1 will be admitted. Ms. Vargas, does the defense waive formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Vargas, I have to ask you now, as to count 1, possession of a controlled substance, a felony 3 in the state of Texas, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
You said Ms. Vargas, but you meant Ms. Vega, right?
Ms. Vega, I'm sorry. Ms. Vega. I'm sorry, Ms. Vega. As to count 1, a felony 3 in the state of Texas, possession of a controlled substance, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? And I saw your lips moving, but can you say it again?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
And aside from the agreement you have with the district attorney's office, has anyone promised you anything else to plead guilty today? Are you pleading guilty today to the court because you are accepting responsibility for this offense?
Yes, sir.
So, Ms. Vega, based on your testimony today, I am going to accept your plea of guilty. I'm finding that it was made freely and voluntarily. Based on that and the evidence before the court, the plea package, I'm going to find you guilty of that offense. I am also going to approve the punishment agreement that you have with the state, which is basically your punishment will be assessed as follows. 3 years to serve in a state prison, but it will be probated for 3 years with a fine of $1,000. In assessing that punishment, I am taking into account 2 other offenses that occurred, which when I do that, that means they can't prosecute you on those later. One was a state jail felony, possession of a controlled substance with a date of offense of August 31st, 2022. And the other was a Class A misdemeanor, resisting arrest, on September 1st, 2022. So the court has taken those into account in assessing your punishment. In addition, as part of your punishment, you'll be required to attend the SCAN outpatient treatment program and complete 200 hours of community service. There are also court costs and fees associated with this, which are clerk,
I'm sorry, Your Honor, it was muted. 435 court costs, $50 local Crime Stopper fee, 180 lab fee, and 350 attorney fee.
or 35 court costs, $50 Crime Stoppers,
180 lab fee, and 350 attorney fee.
All right, I'm gonna waive the attorney's fees. That's to give you an opportunity. So the 350 in attorney's fees will be waived.
2 years, yeah, here he
But the court will impose the court costs and Crime Stoppers fee, the 180 for the lab fee.
He
Marco, I think,
just wants to report to him because he wants to tell him something of what happened to him in jail. And I told him that he can't talk. to
Marco,
him.
is that you, Marco?
No, you're telling.
Marco, you need to mute yourself. Anything further, Ms. Vargas?
No, Your Honor, nothing further from defense.
Ms. Vega, any questions regarding what just happened?
No, sir, the only thing is, for the PR bond, it's not a pre-trial bond. Am I correct?
Oh, you're gonna be released, you should be released today. Okay? Now, it is the afternoon, if you don't get released today, be patient, but I am granting you a PR bond. I don't know that I needed to do that, but I went ahead just to make sure. A $6,000 PR bond because of the capias that was issued by Judge Lopez. But I have approved the probation punishment. Now, you will be ordered to report to the probation office today if you get out before 5. If you get out after 5, you'll have to report tomorrow morning, okay? All right, so you should be out soon, okay? But be patient if it doesn't happen until tomorrow morning, but it should be today.
Your Honor, may I, with the dispo for the probation, it's sufficient enough instead of the
Okay.
pure bond?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll send it this by the end of the docket.
Okay,
Judge,
yes.
did you recall the KPS?
It
Well,
was
They
executed.
executed. Well, yeah, and that's why, well, to the extent I can, I'll retract the capias as well. What's the 19th? All right, anything further?
No, sir.
Ms. Vargas, we're good?
We're good, Your Honor.
Good luck, Ms. Vega. Stay out of trouble, okay?
Thank you.
All right. What do we have in the green room?
Next, Your Honor, we have Lisa Lee Lugo, 406.
Page 2, Your Honor.
The court is going to call 2018 CRO 373D4, the state of Texas versus Lisa Lee Lugo.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Omar Salinas from Ms. Lugo.
Good afternoon, Mr. Salinas. Good afternoon, Ms. Lugo.
Hi, good afternoon.
What's the announcement, Mr. Salinas?
Yes, Your Honor, this is a final hearing. There is an agreement. The state has conveyed a recommendation For an exchange of pleading true to condition 2 and 5, the state has agreed to modify down to 2 years to serve from 5 years to serve, Your Honor, and TDCJ, and Ms. Lugo has accepted that.
Is that your understanding, Ms. Lugo?
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Yes. Thank you.
So Ms. Lugo, you're here because the state filed a motion to revoke your probation. And your attorney has announced to me that you have an agreement regarding the punishment. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So in the petition, they're alleging that you violated conditions number 2 and 5. So as to those allegations, how do you plead, true or not true?
True.
Are you pleading true, freely, and voluntarily? Can you repeat your answer? You were muted.
Yes.
Does anybody force you to plead true?
No.
And you're pleading true because you're accepting responsibility for those allegations?
Yes.
I'm going to accept your plea of true today and find that you have violated those conditions number 2 and 5. The court is also going to go along with the recommendation in this case to reduce the punishment from 5 years to 2 years to serve in the Texas Department of Corrections, or TDCJ. Is that your understanding, Ms. Lugo?
Yes.
Have any questions about what just happened?
No.
Anything further, Mr. Salinas?
We're just asking for her credit, Your Honor, and that's it. Thanks for us.
The court, yeah, will approve any time served as, well, any credit for time served to apply to the 2 years as well. We'll do that. All right. Anything else, Mr. Salinas?
No, Your Honor, that's all. Thank you.
All right. Good luck, Ms. Lugo. Hopefully time will pass quickly.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck.
Next, we have Emily Michelle Corral, Your Honor.
Which court?
341st, Emily Michelle Corral.
Page 6, Your Honor.
Court calls 2022 CRK 1362D3. State of Texas versus Emily Michelle Corral. Ms. Corral.
Morning, Your Honor. Afternoon, sorry. Julio Garcia representing Emily Corral.
Good afternoon, Mr. Garcia. We're here for pretrial. What's the announcement?
Nothing, the pretrial today, Your Honor. Ms. Corral was picked up on for no show, I believe, in another court. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't this court. She was picked up and arrested on the 7th of April, I believe. Is that correct? I think that's correct. So she's already been in for at least going on, getting close to 3 weeks now. And I have yet to contact Ms. Rubio because Ms. Corral has about 4 other cases that are pending. She has 1 MTR and another felony judge and some misdemeanors. So Ms. Rubio and I were going to try and work all of them out. Unfortunately, Ms. Corral had an emergency in Houston, a family emergency, and she was arrested for no show. But today, if it's not out of this court, we have nothing to pre-try, Judge, just to give Ms. Rubio and I an opportunity to discuss all of her cases to see if we can try and come to an agreement, most importantly with the MTR, Judge.
Your Honor, may I?
Yes.
She's in custody for this charge. She's for failure to appear on March 30th.
Thank you. And because she had so many cases, I I wasn't
She's
sure,
only in
but we
custody
came to
for this
court.
charge, yes.
And if that's the case, I would like to see if I can ask the court and Ms. Rubio just to take into consideration the fact I believe, and if the court can clarify this, I believe she was arrested on the 7th of April, to take that into consideration and see if we can agree to either release her on her original bond, or I know that she's only 19 and is not working. She has no, at least no stable income at this point. Let's see if we can try and release her on a personal recognizance bond, Judge, if at all possible.
The state's position,
Judge, we're not opposed to that. Maybe if we can go through, if she can report to pretrial services so we can keep track of her.
well, let's do this first. I'll do something to allow her to get out. But so we need, first of all, how much time do you need to get all this wrapped up, Mr. Garcia?
I would imagine no more than 30 days, Judge. There's a couple of cases that have not been filed, but I think Ms. Rubio and I can get together and wrap this up. The one thing I do need, Your Honor, is just to make sure that if Ms. Corral has any new contact information, if she has a cell phone or anything of that nature, to please tell me. Sorry, Judge, I can't hear you.
That
Somebody's having a party somewhere.
hold on. Do you have a telephone number where your attorney can reach you, Ms. Corral? Can you put the microphone a little bit closer to your mouth?
Right now I have a phone, but it's not connected.
It's disconnected.
I'll take your mom's number.
Go ahead.
It's 956-216-0057.
Can you repeat? Jill, can you have the other inmates settle down a little bit?
Yes.
Can you repeat the number, Ms. Corral?
206-0057.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
The thing about doing it through pretrial, Ms. Rubio, pretrial, did you get that telephone number?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So,
Your Honor, if I may, this is Ms. Contreras, pretrial services. Ms. Corral does have an active case here with pretrial from County Court at Law 2.
okay. Oh, so she's reporting to you already?
That is correct.
Okay. How often is she reporting in that case?
Let me check, Your Honor. She's coming in on a weekly basis. She did miss her last appointment, though.
Okay, well, yeah, because she was incarcerated. Yeah, you're arrested. You might put a note of that. Okay, I'm gonna let her out on a 6,000 PR bond. On this case, and let me get you a setting.
Your Honor, May 18 at 8:30, regular court.
Did you get that, Ms. Corral?
Yes. I was supposed to, if I knew I had court, I would have gone. I swear, I went to pretrial that day, I reported.
Okay, you have to continue reporting with pretrial.
Yes.
You're gonna be back in court on May 18th at 8:30, okay? Stay out of trouble.
Your Honor, just to
Ms. Corral?
confirm, the bond is a 6,000 PR bond, correct?
Correct. Just
Thank
a
you, Your Honor.
Regular PR.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir,
Your
Your
Honor.
Honor. If I could just advise my client that when she gets out, to please contact my office so we can talk about her cases that are pending. We can try and take care of this matter.
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Your Honor, if I may, if Ms. Corral can report to pretrial services tomorrow morning.
Okay, you're gonna get out, I think, today, so you need a report tomorrow morning.
Same, I usually have it on Fridays. Work.
She says yes. Did you get that?
Yes, sir.
4 o'clock tomorrow, that's her normal time, so that's fine.
So just to clarify, Judge, she is going to meet with pretrial services tomorrow by 4,
Yeah, 4, which is her normal.
at 4.
time, yeah. And
Okay.
that's the other case, but I'm assuming she's gonna follow that, because I can just as easily take the PR away, but she'll be there. All right? All right. All right, good luck, Ms. Corral. Stay out of trouble.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, Your Honor, Daniel De Jesus Montoya, 406. You will need an interpreter.
Buenas tardes, señor Montoya. Let me call the case. Court calls 2019 CRM 845D4, State of Texas versus Daniel De Jesus Montoya. ¿Necesita un intérprete, señor Montoya? ¿No entiendes inglés?
Español, por favor.
Where's our interpreter?
I'm here, Your Honor, present.
There you are. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
All right. Mr. Montoya, you're here because the state has a motion to revoke your probation, so I'm going to talk to your attorney if there's an announcement.
Señor Montoya, usted está aquí porque el Estado ha tramitado una moción para revocar su libertad condicional, así es que voy a hablar con su abogado. Yes. Your Honor, I believe the state has an announcement in this case.
Yes, Judge, good afternoon. Ana Garza for the state. We do have an agreement on this case that Mr. Montoya be placed back on probation. And we did agree on a bond of 1,600 cash bill surety.
Your Honor, you need me to interpret that already?
Yes, please.
Entonces, su abogada ha dicho que el Estado tiene un anuncio, el Estado ha dicho lo siguiente, hemos llegado al acuerdo de entonces ponerlo bajo, bajo libertad condicional de nuevo y le vamos a poner una fianza en efectivo de $1,600. Your Honor, and that amount is supposed to go towards the balance of his probation.
That's right.
I asked it to be 1,600 in cash.
Wait, hold on. Okay. Yeah, because somebody said cash bill surety,
Correct.
but it's cash.
Yes,
That's
Judge.
how I explained it to him.
Okay, so it's 1,600 cash. And that will go to his probation fees?
Correct.
All right. And that'll be approved. So, Mr. Montoya, I'm going to go ahead and approve the agreement and set the bond at $1,600 cash and place you back on probation.
Señor Montoya, entonces voy a aprobar el acuerdo, le voy a dar una fianza de $1,600 en efectivo y va usted a estar de nuevo en libertad condicional.
Muchas gracias. Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank
Your
you.
Honor, will the MTR be withdrawn?
Yes, or withdrawn or denied.
Yes,
Either
Your
one.
Honor.
And, okay. Mr. Montoya, do you have any questions before I let you go?
Señor Montoya, antes de que se pueda retirar, ¿tiene alguna pregunta?
No, está bien. Muchas gracias. Thank you, sir.
It's fine. Thank you.
Buena
Your Honor,
suerte.
if I may,
Yes. Oh, when do
for
you
the
want?
record. For the record, Araceli Garcia for the probation department. If the defendant is released, if he could please report to the probation department located at the South Office.
Go ahead. Translate.
Entonces, si al señor se le deja libre, entonces si se le coloca bajo libertad condicional, que se presente a la oficina del sur.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
That'll be all. Okay.
Your Honor, who is the state's attorney on this case? I didn't get the name.
It's Ana Garza.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Buena suerte, señor Montoya.
Gracias, igualmente. Thank you, sir.
Up next, we have Eduardo Palacios, Your Honor, from the court.
The court is going to call 2021 CRI 905D4, 2021 CRI 906D4, State of Texas versus Eduardo Palacios.
Omar Salinas or Mr. Palacios, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Salinas.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good morning, Judge. I left some plea packets right outside your office, and we have pleas for both of these cases.
You're gonna make me walk all the way to my door?
I'm sorry, Judge.
Hold on. Got it. So, Mr. Palacios, you understand English? Okay, your attorney has just advised me that you have an agreement with the district attorneys in this case?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Is your true and correct name Eduardo Palacios?
Yes, sir.
And you're here with your attorney, well, on Zoom, Mr. Salinas. Have you had enough time to talk to him about your two cases and what's going to happen here today? Was that a yes?
Yes.
I mean, do you have any questions about what's going to happen?
Well, I heard I wasn't have
You're gonna, can you try to get the mic a little bit closer to your mouth, because I can't really hear you that well.
I think he said I was gonna get him served.
That's correct. According to the agreement that I have here, it's 120 days to serve. Is that your understanding? For both charges. And the request is that they run concurrent. They run at the same time. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your attorney explained, did he explain all of that to you?
Yeah.
Have you been satisfied with the services Mr. Salinas had provided to you? Oh, okay. You need to speak up a little bit because that microphone's not very good, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And you have been satisfied with the services he's provided you?
Yes.
Is there anything you need to tell me now that prevents you from understanding what's happening today?
No,
And Mr. Salinas, you believe your client is competent to go forward?
I do, Your Honor, and we can proceed.
Okay. So, Mr. Palacios, I have the two plea packages in front of me right now on the two cases. In here, you're telling me on both cases that you're giving up certain rights. The first right you're giving up is a right to remain silent. You do not have to plead guilty today. You have the right to have a jury hear your case and a jury assess your punishment. Do you understand that you're giving up those rights?
yes, sir.
In addition, if there were witnesses and evidence that was going to be presented against you, you're giving up the right to confront those witnesses and evidence at trial. Do you understand that? A little louder.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if I go along with this agreement and I approve it and I give you the punishment along the lines of the agreement that you have, do you understand that you cannot complain about that punishment to a higher court unless you get special permission from this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have to warn you about the maximum punishment for a person being found guilty of a second-degree felony charge in the state of Texas. The maximum punishment, and both charges are felony twos. So both charges, the maximum punishment is 2 to 20 years in a state prison and a fine not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have to ask everyone this question. Are you a US citizen? Can you say again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I understand that you're telling me that you are in fact a US citizen, but again, I do have to tell everyone, if you are not a US citizen and you plead guilty, you could be subject to deportation, denied the right of reentry into the United States, and denied the right to become a US citizen. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Knowing all these things we've just talked about, do you still want to go forward with your plea of guilty on both cases?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I have in front of me the plea packages that you signed. Did your attorney go over these packages with you before you signed them?
I signed one, but wasn't here.
Okay, you're gonna have to speak up again.
I signed up, but I wasn't here.
You signed them, but what?
You mean the fingerprints, what? The paper?
I'm having I really need to hear this.
I can't understand him either, Judge.
All right. Try to get the mic a little bit closer to your mouth and speak up a little bit, Mr.
Yes, I sent a paper, but it wasn't with me. I don't know if we're talking about the fingerprints that I took. The fingerprints.
Okay, let me start over a little bit here and do you remember signing 2 agreements regarding your plea today?
Yes.
Okay. Did your attorney explain what was in there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions? And you can ask me about what you signed. Say again?
I don't have any questions.
Okay, you don't have any questions. Thank you. Okay. Is the state offering State's Exhibit 1 in both cases, the one ending in 905D4 and 906D4?
Yes, Your Honor, state offers exhibit 1, 2, and 3 for both cases.
No objections, Your Honor.
States 1, 2, and 3 in both cases will be admitted into evidence. Okay. So before we go forward, do you have any questions of me before I ask you how you plead? Okay. So in cause number ending in 905D4, burglary of a habitation felony 2, count 1, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? A little louder.
Guilty.
And in the case ending in 906D4, also count 1, burglary of a habitation felony 2, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty? Are you pleading guilty on both these cases freely and voluntarily? Has anybody forced you to plead guilty? Aside from the agreement you have with the district attorney's office, has anyone promised you anything else to plead guilty today?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty today to both charges because you are accepting responsibility for both those offenses?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Palacios, based on your testimony before the court and the evidence before the court, I'm going to accept your plea of guilty today. I find that your plea on both cases was made freely and voluntarily, and I am going to find you guilty of the offense of burglary of a habitation of felony 2 on the case ending in 905, and also guilty of the offense of burglary of a habitation felony 2 in the case ending in 906. I find that your pleas on both those cases were made freely and voluntarily.
Your Honor, it's actually a lesser included offense of criminal trespass class A for both cases.
All right, I just saw that. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. The court is going to retract the finding of guilt on both charges in cause number 905 and 906. All right, I made a mistake here, Mr. Palacios. It's not your fault or the attorney's fault. I didn't look down. Apparently, part of this agreement is that you're not going to plead to a felony. You're going to plead to a lesser included offense, which is a class A misdemeanor. So earlier, I was telling you about a punishment for a second degree felony, which was 2 to 20 years. That's not correct. What you're pleading out to is a class A misdemeanor. And the maximum punishment for a class A misdemeanor in the state of Texas is 1 year in county jail. Okay. So do you understand what I just did?
Yes.
Okay, so you have not been found guilty of a felony too, but we got to go through the process for a misdemeanor, okay? So do you have any questions about what just happened?
The I'm still gonna be here for like a year.
Well, if I approve, and I haven't yet, if I approve the punishment, you're going to be there for 120 days. No, I was just warning you about the maximum punishment for a class A misdemeanor is a year. That's not necessarily what you're going to get. Okay, now, because you have an agreement and I might approve it, okay? But I have to warn you, have to warn every defendant about the maximum punishment for a class A misdemeanor. And that's what you're going to be pleading out to in a little bit, okay? So it's not the felonies, it's a class A misdemeanor that I'm going to be asking you about in a little bit, okay?
All right. Yes, sir.
So we got to go through that process again. So do you want to go forward with your plea of guilty to the class A misdemeanors?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in the case ending in 905D4, the charge of class A misdemeanor criminal trespass, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And also in cause number ending in 906D4 criminal trespass, class A misdemeanor, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
No one's forced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Are you pleading guilty because you're accepting responsibility for these offenses?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so now, Mr. Palacios, based on your testimony and the evidence before the court is going to accept your plea of guilty to the 2 counts, 2 different cases of criminal trespass, class A misdemeanor. I find you guilty of those offenses. I find that your plea of guilty was made freely and voluntarily. The court is also going to approve the agreement that you have with the state in this case and assess your punishment at 120 days to serve in the county jail. You will be given credit for time served. In other words, anytime you've been in there, you'll be given credit for both of those. I am going to assess court costs and stuff on one of the cases. So in 905, what do we have?
485 court costs and 500 attorney fees.
And that will be assessed in the cause
I'm sorry, Your Honor, 465 court costs.
465
Yes, Your Honor, apologize. And 500 attorney fee.
and 500. I got that. All right, and we'll waive the court costs and attorney's fees in the cause number ending in 906. And the 120 days will run concurrent, and as the court mentioned, the defendant will be given credit for time served. Any questions, Mr. Palacios, about what just happened?
No.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Salinas?
No, Your Honor. Bench rests.
All right. All right, good luck, Mr. Palacios. Sorry about the mix-up there, but turned out all right.
Next, Your Honor, we have Jose Humberto Navarro, 341st.
Your Honor, page 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Court calls 2020, CRO 2029 D3. 2021, CRD 183 D3. And 2022 CRD 530 D3. The state of Texas versus Jose Humberto Navarro Jr. Good afternoon, Mr. Navarro.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, what do we got here, Mr. Peña?
Yes, Judge Oscar Peña here. I represent Mr. Navarro in 2021 CRD 183 and 2020 CRO 2029. We've, for the most part, executed plea bargain agreements, which I think will resolve all of the cases. Only I learned that I was missing a signature and the fingerprints. And so I just need a couple of days, Your Honor, to come back and so that I can have everything executed and ready to go.
Let me give you a, what did I do with my calendar?
And something soon, if possible.
No, we have something next week.
Perfect.
April 26th at 8:30.
Your Honor, it's at 9:30.
Sorry, 9:30.
And that's this docket, Your Honor?
It's going to be with Judge Hale in custody.
Understood, Your Honor.
Anything further, Mr. Peña?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions, Mr. Navarro?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, we'll see you back here in 8 days, I think, or 7 days. 7 days. All right, good luck, Mr. Navarro. Thank you, Mr. Peña. Your excuse.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jose Gonzalez, Your Honor, from the 341st.
Page 3, Judge.
Court calls 2021 CRB 1000D3, the state of Texas versus Jose Gonzalez. Mr. Hernandez.
Your Honor, Estela Rodriguez standing in for Mr. Hernandez.
Good afternoon, Ms. Rodriguez. What's the announcement on this?
Yes, Your Honor, the state and we are negotiating still. We would like a 45-day reset if possible. We think we can come to an agreement.
So you're asking for a continuance of the jury selection, in essence.
Right.
How, are you all pretty close?
Yes. But we probably won't have an agreement by the 8th of May. There are other defendants as well, Your Honor, so that's what is going to cause a little bit of a delay, and they're all related.
All right, I'll give you some time. I'll give you 30 days. Is that, you think that'll be enough?
We'll try to do that in 30 days, then, if the state is okay with that.
Who's here for the state?
Claudia Garcia for the state, Your Honor. We started additional discussions with Ms. Rodriguez, helping out Mr. Hernandez. So she did inform me that the prior prosecutor did convey an offer that was different than I was conveying. So that does add additional information and details for consideration. So I agree that the 30 days are necessary at this point to continue our discussion.
Okay, so I'll reset you on May 17th at 1 p.m. and that'll be with me at 1 p.m.
Thank you, Your Honor. And my client knows what's going on here. So.
Hold on. Mr. Gonzalez, you have any questions?
Oh, Your Honor.
Okay, so you'll be back here with me on the 17th, okay?
Thank you, yeah. Thank you.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you. That is all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Thank you, Ms. Rodriguez.
Thank you.
Good to see you. I thought you retired.
I retired, but I came back and then I was out for knee surgery, so I'm back again. Thank you, Judge.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Next, Your Honor, Jose Luis Garcia, 341st.
H4, Your Honor.
Court calls 2021 CRO 1236 D3, State of Texas versus Jose Luis Garcia.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Gabriel Nieto here on behalf of Mr. Jose Luis Garcia. Your Honor, my client got picked up on a capias, so he's currently being held without bond. Prior to his last court date, I wasn't able to get a hold of him, Your Honor. I have made contact with him there at the Webb County Jail, Your Honor, but I do need to keep discussing some issues with him and with the state, Your Honor. For that reason, we're going to request a final pretrial. I've asked him to stay in communication with me.
I'm assuming that's, I mean, you didn't come and ask for it, but you're asking for a bond?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm going to be requesting at this time a $1,000 cash for surety on each count.
Judge, we're gonna object to that request. He was capias and the offer is for time to serve.
Does he have anything else pending, Mr. Nieto?
He does, at this time, Your Honor, I believe he has only cases that have not yet been filed, as well as a case in County Court at Law number 2. And for that reason, Your Honor, it's because he has some pending charges that we're trying to include into the plea bargain, is that we need some time. I just need to run some things by my client as well, and with the state.
Okay, what I will do, Mr. Nieto, I'll give him a $12,000 bond through pretrial services.
Your Honor, this is Ms. Contreras, if I may.
Yes.
Mr. Garcia has been released through pretrial services twice on an original bond, and then that bond was reinstated. This is the third time he's being arrested for the same case. His father does not have the financial means to bond him out, and he's mainly homeless.
I mean, you just told me he's indigent, which is another consideration.
Judge, one of my concerns is that he has over 37 arrests just with us. And it seems like he gets out and then reoffends, and it's just a revolving door.
Your Honor, for what it's worth, my client does have a history of mental illness. I did speak with him, and he is checking in with MHMR. He is being monitored by our social worker, Carlos Saldaña, and we can go ahead and follow up on his treatment at MHMR.
No, let's. Has he been assessed?
He's been assessed by, he was being assessed by our social worker, Your Honor, and then I don't know if she had trouble getting a hold of him. But now that he's in custody, I'm going to notify Ms. Saldaña to go and visit with him before he bonds out, Your Honor. And hopefully we'll maintain contact. Was referred a few months ago, Your Honor, and I believe she had made initial contact.
Well, look, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna order a mental assessment. I've got the order here. I'll fill it out. I'm not gonna grant him a bond right now, but I'm gonna reset this case to the 17th of May. And that's going to be again for a final pretrial. May 17th at 1 p.m. It'll be with me and I'll have the assessment
Yes, Your Honor,
completed.
should I notify the assessment with?
I'm going to do the order. I have the order. I do those not on a regular basis, but kind of regular basis. And they've got 72 hours, I think, to respond. So I'll have it. And I'm required to do that now that that's been brought to my attention. So I'm going to do that, and I'll take that into account in how we go forward with this regarding bond, and which may include at that time referral. But I don't know. He's got a time to serve offer, so let me get the assessment before I start predicting what might or might not happen. Okay, so I'm going to reset this case for the 17th of May. You don't have to worry about filing anything, Mr. Nieto. I'll do it on my own motion.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then we'll talk more with Mr. Garcia, but yeah, 37 arrests, that's getting up there. All right. Anything further, Mr. Nieto?
Nothing further from the defense, Your Honor.
All right. Well, good luck, Mr. Garcia, and I'll see you on the 17th. You'll be with me.
Next, we have Rogelio Perez Jr., Your Honor, from the 406.
Page 3, Your Honor. I'm sorry, page 5, Your Honor.
341st docket, Your Honor.
Oh, 341st. I'm sorry, what, page 5?
Yes,
And I'm sorry, what was the?
page 5, 341st, Perez Rogelio.
I believe he also has someone who would.
On the 406, Your Honor, on
hold on a
page
second.
3.
On Mr. Navarro, who we kind of cut loose, I don't know that are we resetting on Mr. Navarro?
Yes, Your Honor.
1007 also? Okay.
Yes, April 26. He's also on page, he
Yeah.
has 4 cases.
No, yeah, I'm talking about Navarro. Yeah, I just didn't mark him
Yeah,
off.
Navarro.
Okay, so Mr. Perez let me call the first case. The court calls 2022 CRD 1003D3, the state of Texas versus Rogelio Perez. And what was the other case in what court?
On the 406 docket, Your Honor, page 3.
Court also calls 2021 CRO 239D4, the state of Texas versus Rogelio Perez.
Yes, Your Honor, and on his 341st case, Your Honor, we're here for an arraignment. I may read my client at this time.
I'm sorry, on which one are we here on an arraignment?
On the 341st case, Central 3D3.
All right. So Mr. Perez, you understand English?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, so Mr. Perez, you're here on your first appearance after you were charged. So I'm going to ask your attorney if he has an announcement for you regarding the charges in the case ending in 1003. Go ahead, Mr. Nieto.
Yes, Your Honor, at this time, my client pleads not guilty of wasteful reading the indictment and request pretrial settings.
Informal conference, May 2nd at 1:30 p.m.
Your Honor, my client is currently being held without bond. At this time, we'd like to request a $10,000 cash security be set.
Are you also representing him on the other case?
No, Your Honor, I am, and we have a plea agreement in that case.
Okay. Is it a time to serve or a probation?
Probation.
All right, so what's the state's position regarding bond on the 341st case?
We have no objection to a 10,000 cash bill surety, provided that he provide the court with an updated address for future notice purposes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes, sir.
where do you live? Do you have an address where they can send you notices and stuff? So
Yes.
this court, where's that?
Yes, 3204 Rosario Street.
Were you working, Mr. Perez?
Yes, I was currently working in the airport,
Doing?
taking off seats and like for companies of the airport, what tapizando like the seats.
Do you work for a company or is that like a family business?
So I work for a guy, like he does contracts and just.
All right, well, I'll do you one better, Mr. Nieto. I'm gonna set his bond at 4,000 cash bill surety. Make it easier for him to get out.
Your Honor, would that be per count?
How many counts are there?
It'll
Oh,
be 2 counts, Your Honor.
no, okay, I just saw the interference. It'll be 3 and 1,
Yes, Your Honor.
and the 1 being the interference.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Hold on, let me get this info down because I have to report this. You gonna be able to afford that bond, Mr. Perez?
Yes.
All right, so, okay, we're not done with you yet, so let me, anything further on this case, Mr. Nieto?
No, nothing further, Your Honor.
Oh, we need his address. What was the address? Did we get it?
3204 Rosario Street.
There we go. Okay, yeah, he said. All right, so now we proceed to the case ending in 239D4. And let me see, do I have the package? Oh, yeah, I do.
Sorry, Your Honor, real quick, may I have Mr. Bettis' phone number?
956-526-6634.
Thank you.
39, my bad. Sorry, Mr. Gabriel.
No worries.
All right, so on the other case, Mr. Perez, you were originally charged with a 3rd-degree felony, but I see that it's going to proceed on the lesser included offense, which is a Class A misdemeanor. Is that your understanding of what's going to happen today?
Yes, can you explain to me what's gonna happen today?
Yeah, that's part of the process. So the announcement from your attorney a little while ago was that you have an agreement with the district attorney's office regarding those charges. The original charges on that case, the one ending in 239D4, is that you were originally charged with a third-degree felony, but part of the agreement for today is that you're going to plead guilty to a Class A misdemeanor. Did your attorney explain that to you?
Yes, Ms. Mendiola did explain that to me yesterday.
Okay, and we're going to go over some of this stuff here.
Yes, sir.
So I have to ask you to raise your right hand first and be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
So is your true and correct name Rogelio Perez Jr.?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, and you're here with Ms. Mendiola, your attorney. Have you had enough time to talk to her about your case and what's going to happen today?
Yes, yes, I did.
Okay, and have you been satisfied with the services she's provided?
Yes,
Okay, I have in front of me the agreement, the plea package that you signed. Did she go over that with you before you signed it?
yes, sir, she did yesterday. We did go over every page.
Okay, and we're going to cover some of that here. So, you're sure that nothing's changed. In here, you're telling me that you're giving up certain rights. In other words, you're waiving those rights. The first right that you're giving up is the right to remain silent. You do not have to plead guilty today. You have the right to have a jury hear your case and a jury to assess your punishment. Do you understand that you're giving up that right?
Yes,
Also, if there were witnesses and evidence that were going to be presented against you, you have a right to challenge that evidence and confront the witnesses. Do you understand that you're giving up that right as well?
yes, sir, I do.
Now, if I approve the agreement and the punishment, okay, and I punish you along the lines of your agreement, you cannot complain about that punishment to a higher court unless you get special permission from this court. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also have to warn you about the maximum punishment you can get for a Class A misdemeanor. I understand your agreement is different, but I still have to warn you about the maximum. The maximum punishment for a Class A misdemeanor in the state of Texas is 1 year to serve in a county jail and a fine of $4,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, I have to ask everyone this question. Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, I am.
And I understand you're telling me that you are in fact a U.S. citizen. But again, I still have to tell everyone this. If you are not a U.S. citizen and you plead guilty, you can be deported from the United States, denied the right of re-entry into the United States, and denied the right to become a U.S. citizen. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, we talked about the plea package. You already told me, but I have to ask you again. Did you go over this with the plea package with your attorney before you signed it?
Yes, I did, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions about what you signed?
No.
All right. And is the state offering State's Exhibit 1 into evidence?
Yes, Judge, the state offers exhibits 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. Any objections? Ms. Mendiola? Any objections, Ms. Mendiola?
None.
Okay, and then states 1, 2, and 3 will be admitted. Now, having talked about all these things about the maximum punishment and the rights you're giving up, do you still want to go forward with your plea of guilty today?
Yes, sir, I do.
Does the defense waive formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do at this time.
Okay. So, Mr. Perez, as to the lesser included offense, which is the Class A misdemeanor evading arrest or detention, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
No.
And aside from the agreement that you have with the district attorney's office, has anyone promised you anything else to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty today before the court because you're accepting responsibility for these offenses?
Yes, I am.
So, Mr. Perez, based on your testimony before me and the evidence before the court, I am going to accept your plea of guilty. I find that it was made freely and voluntarily, and I will find you guilty of that offense. a Class A misdemeanor evading arrest or detention. I am also going to approve the agreement that you made with the district attorney's office. And I'm going to assess your punishment as follows. Your punishment is 2 years to serve in the Webb County Jail, but it will be probated for 2 years. You'll be on probation for 2 years. You will be required to complete the defensive driving class and also 100 hours of community service.
Okay.
What are the court costs and attorney's fees on this case?
415 court costs, 500 attorney fee, and $50 local Crime Stopper fee, Your Honor.
Mr. Pettis, I'm going to waive the $500 in attorney's fees, but I am going to assess the 415 in court costs. And what was the other one? $50?
$50 local Crime Stopper fee, Your Honor.
That will be approved as well. The court, I should have said, in giving you this punishment, Mr. Perez, I took into account another offense that was committed on May 31st, 2020, possession of a controlled substance, a state jail felony, which is District Attorney's file number DC 20-04270. So I've been taking that into account in the punishment I just gave you, which I'm sure your attorney explained to you.
Yeah.
When I do that, they cannot prosecute you on that case, okay? Any questions about what just happened before I cut you loose, Mr. Perez?
So I'll be having probation for 2 years, right?
You'll be on probation for 2 years.
Is there a fine for me?
Well, there's no fine, but you do have to pay court costs and $415.
I mean, would I have a, like, what's gonna happen? Will I be released or what's?
You're gonna be released, and as a matter of fact, you might be released today, but more than likely tomorrow morning. If you get released today before 5 o'clock, you need to report to probation so they can set up your file.
Would I get my information to probation? Yes, right?
Yeah, when you're released, okay, whether today or tomorrow morning.
It's because I'm really new to this, so I really need to pay attention. I'm really nervous. I'm really nervous.
You'll be out soon. If you get out tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, you need to report to the probation office. Do you know where it is?
No.
Okay. It's in the building next to the jail. Okay, so you can't miss it, and it's on the first floor.
Okay.
You know where the federal courthouse is, which is next door to the courthouse?
No.
It's that kind of white building next to our.
Oh, the big one right here downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That street that divides our courthouse from the federal courthouse, that's the entrance to probation on the first floor.
Okay. So I just go there and I can go to the first floor.
Yes, and tell them you're reporting that you got out on probation. They'll have your paperwork, and they'll assign you a probation officer at that time.
Okay, Mr. Garcia.
All right. Well, I hope you stay out of trouble. I'm giving you a small break here, since you're working, but you really need to stay out of trouble, okay?
Yes, sir, I will. I'll for sure will.
All right. Good luck, Mr. Perez.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mendiola.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, you're excused.
And Your Honor, that's all I
Thanks,
have. Be excused.
Mr. Nieto?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gabriel. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good one.
You too.
Next Honor, Juan Gilberto Cabrera, 341st.
It's on the add-on, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. Who's that? Is that
It's on
Judge,
the-
we have an agreement to plea him out. However, there's been some technical difficulties with access to Mr. Cabrera. I went to the jail a while ago, about 45 minutes ago, and I couldn't see him because he was in the tunnel waiting to be called for his court today. But I did talk that when I conferred with Margaret, she's online. She can verify what I'm telling the court. We have an agreement already, Judge, but Mr. Cabrera has to sign so that Ms. Margaret can go ahead and then execute the plea packet.
I would love to do it today, but I don't think it's gonna be possible, Judge. You think that we can reset it? I don't know, Ms. Carrillo, if she has an opening between now and Friday?
I don't think we have in custody. We have in custody in 7 days.
Yes, sir, but they wouldn't allow me to see him. They're at the jail. I went to see him about an hour ago.
I'm surprised they didn't shut down the whole operation for you, Mr. Martinez.
Huh? Yes, Judge, no, Judge, I made a lot of effort. We had an agreement, Mr. Vigil, but then at the last minute today, this afternoon, they told Mr. Vigil has been in a seminar, Judge, during the week. So he was out of pocket. I kept calling him at his cell and everything. He was very gracious, gave me his cell phone, but he never returned my calls. So I didn't know that he was at a seminar.
Well,
But
hold on.
Margaret took over. Margaret,
Mr.
she
Martinez,
took over, Judge, and she did a good job.
Mr. Martinez, I'm trying to get you a new date, but I don't know that we have an in custody set up until the 26th.
Yes.
And
He had 5 more cases, Judge. We thought that he had only 3 or 4, but no, he has 5. They're going to be dismissed as part of the plea bargain. But I need for him to execute this packet, and the jail would not allow me they wouldn't take the packet to him so he could sign.
well, yeah, I know. I mean, but 45 minutes before we start is kind of tough. So look, I mean, 7 days, I mean, that shouldn't be too much of a hardship. 26th at 9:30 with Judge Hale.
26 at 9:30 with Judge Hill. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Wait, hold on. Mr. Cabrera, did you get all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, we can't squeeze you in earlier, but we don't have anything else set until 7 days, but it looks like everything got worked out. You'll be with Judge Hale in 7 days, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Next, we have Ramiro Rodriguez from the 49th, Your Honor.
Page 2, Your Honor.
All right. The court calls 2019 CRD 11-1-4 D1, State of Texas versus Ramiro Rodriguez. Mr. Trevino, is this your case?
I think so, Judge.
What do you
I
got?
have been trying to get a hold of an assistant district attorney to see what we can do. I have it's Mr. Rodriguez.
Well,
Your Honor, I'm trying to get this man on a bond. Apparently, the wife who was the victim has withdrawn the charges. Supposedly there was a child, but the wife is saying that it wasn't an intentional act on Mr. Rodriguez against the child. So I need to discuss all these issues with Mr. Rodriguez, the ADA. And in the meantime, he helps to take care of his father who's handicapped. And I'm asking if he can be set on bond. I have here a certificate of completion for Stop the Violence.
I see it. Thank you. Mr. Rodriguez, what's your position regarding the request for bond in this case?
Yes, Judge, I believe this is an MTR, so we oppose a bond we'd be opposed to a bond being set on this case. I know at a previous MTR, he was given a chance to complete that class, which Mr. Trevino just pointed out. But he did get arrested 2 more times for the same offense and a family violence offense as well. So we'd be opposed to bond. But if the court is inclined to put a bond, we'd recommend a cash bond to go towards his arrears.
How much does he owe?
You're on mute, Mr. Rodriguez.
According to the MTR, I believe it's about $1,800. That's judicial collections and probation fees.
I have no problem with that, Your Honor.
So he has new charges aside from the MTR?
Yes, Judge, they haven't been indicted, but there are new arrests. The MTR doesn't have those allegations, so I know he was extended back in 2022, so we might have to amend the MTR regardless, but there are two other offenses.
Your Honor, the offenses are the wife. She has come to me and she has filed a non-prosecution on those issues. And that's why I would like to discuss those issues with Mr. Rodriguez. I have no problem that the court set an $1,800 cash bond.
Yes, Judge, the state, we do have both affidavits on both cases, so the court may be aware of that.
Okay. All right, well, we'll give him a chance to get out then. I mean, but Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez. you
Yes.
have-
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and approve the $1,800 cash bond.
Right.
That your attorney requested. Yeah, but you gotta be more careful. I don't wanna keep seeing this situation popping up where we're having Davids.
Okay, Your Honor, so what happened again?
Because it's not up to your wife to take the charges up. It's for the district attorney's office. And so they don't have to take the charges off. And at this point, I don't have to give you a bond. So I'm giving you an opportunity that you need to take advantage of. All right? You got to stay out of trouble and you got to
Okay.
control.
I will do that.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Your
Okay.
Honor, may I, the 1,800 will go towards the pending fees?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was gonna go to me.
Your Honor, and just for information, he is in custody for a new charge on the County Court of Law 1.
Can't do anything about that.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is there a bond on that one?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine, Judge. I'll deal with those.
Any shortages will be assessed toward against Mr. Trevino.
I'll put on the display that.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, his next court date would be May 12th at 9 a.m. at the 49th. For an
May I
MTR final hearing.
May I be excused?
What time?
May I
At
be
9 a.m.,
excused?
Judge.
Hold on. Okay. Any questions, Mr. Rodriguez?
No. What's gonna happen?
You're probably gonna bond out, but you need to be back in court on May 12th
Okay,
at 9 a.m.
okay, thank you very much.
All right, good luck. Stay out of trouble.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Trevino. Your excuse.
Judge, may God bless and protect all of us.
One of these days, you're gonna forget that line.
I hope not. I hope not, Judge.
Next, Your Honor, we have Enrique Ramon Sandoval, 49th.
Page 3, Your Honor.
Court calls 2021 CRD 686D1, State of Texas versus Enrique Ramon Sandoval.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Guillermo del Barrio here on behalf of Mr. Sandoval, Your Honor.
Good afternoon.
In this particular case, I did confer with Mr. Rodriguez on this matter. Mr. Sandoval's, I believe, he had a capus in this case and another case. We were able to get, I represent him on multiple cases, Your Honor. I did get what I think might be a favorable offer to Mr. Sandoval. However, I just received it. I have not had an opportunity to discuss it with him, but I think that might resolve the matter. However, I know Mr. Sandoval has been in custody for a while, but I don't know if Mr. Rodriguez would have some type of opposition to any type of bond, even if it's not a PR bond, a low bond, so that Mr. Sandoval can get out. We were able to obtain a PR bond on one of his misdemeanor cases yesterday. So I don't know what the state's position is on that.
Yes, Judge, we wouldn't be opposed to a bond being set on this case. There was a time served offer related.
Yes, that's correct.
Well, that was gonna be my first question. So, and did I understand that correctly? You're not opposed to a bond, even though we have a time to serve offer?
It's a time served offer, Judge, as in he's already been in jail, I believe, 2 or 3 times on this case. and we do have some mental health issues on our end as far as notes go. So that is the offer. The time he has will be the offer for time served.
Yes, Your Honor. The only issue, Your Honor, was going to be that I believe I advised Mr. Rodriguez. I believe Mr. Sandoval has another felony case, so I'm not mistaken, pending. So that's why, he was going to look into that. But if it can encompass everything, I think we can get this case over and done with, Your Honor.
All right, so we have, you have bonds on the Class A and the Class B?
Believe so, Your Honor. I don't know. We just had court in County Court 2 yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I don't remember. And he was granted a PR bond on those.
But so, I mean, my docket's reflecting that the Class A and the Class B are here with us. So you're talking about two other misdemeanors.
I had him with Judge Victor Villarreal a couple of days ago, Your Honor.
Okay, so the resisting arrest and the indecent exposure are with Judge Villarreal.
I'll be honest with Your Honor, I don't recall the actual charge in those, but we just had court, I believe, on Monday, Your Honor. So,
well, I mean, these may be
those may be part of the felony case because he does have multiple cases pending, Your Honor. So that's what it is. I mean, he may.
Well, yeah, you're asking me just for one bond on the felony, but I was under the impression that you already had bonds on the other two, but he may not have bonds on.
No, Your Honor. If we can get bonds on those as well, that would be great, Your Honor. I apologize.
Okay.
Well, siempre doesn't tell me everything. So is this the same case?
Whoever talking needs to mute themselves. Okay, yeah, didn't want to just.
No, and I apologize, Your Honor. I meant a bond for this whole case and any pending misdemeanors that are going along with it as well, Your Honor. And if the court is not inclined to give him a bond for whatever reason, we are asking for a quick reset so that way we can resolve the matter. But if he does get a bond, I do expect Mr. Sandoval to be in my office.
I am going to give you a quick reset. And the indication is that the plea is going to be a time served. So, for all practical purposes, if we had the plea package today, he'd be out today.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, I'll take that into account. All right, look, on the Class A misdemeanor, we'll set a 4,000 PR bond. On the exposure, Class B, 2,000 PR bond. It says here assault on a judge or peace officer.
No, I don't think that's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, no. Well, it's one of the. I just want to check, Mr. Sandoval. Not that I'm agreeing that it's better on a police officer.
No. Judge does.
No, I'll give him an opportunity to get out. I'll set a 10,000 cash bail surety on that.
Can we do that through pretrial services, Your Honor, possibly to give them a better opportunity to get out?
Yeah, I'll do it through pretrial services. And though it will, well, I was going to give you a quick turnaround.
Well, we can get the quick turnaround regardless, Your Honor, just in case. We should be able to resolve it in speaking with Mr. Rodriguez today.
Alma or Fred, when can we set this up for a plea?
If he's gonna bail out, Judge, it will be May 12th.
Is that enough time, Mr.?
Yeah, that'd be plenty of time. I don't know if he'll be able to bail out with even with the $10,000 bond. I mean, if it was a PR bond, I know for a fact he'd get out, but I'm not sure if in speaking sometime with his father, I don't know if he would be getting out.
Mr. Del Barrio, if he's not getting out, then we have in custody next week again on the 26th.
Okay.
Or May 2nd.
Mr. Del Barrio, a 10,000 PR bond through pretrial services is $300.
Okay, I would, Mr. Sandoval would be the one to tell you, because I've been speaking with the family when I have, it's difficult for him to.
Hear from Mr. Sandoval. Mr. Sandoval,
Yes, sir.
you wanted to, we're trying to figure out.
I mean, if you could consider PR bonds on all of them, I mean, do I have to go through pretrial services? If it's going to be a time served, I'll be there. You know,
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Okay.
I'm not gonna. I don't see why I got to go through pretrial. Can't you just
Well,
make them all
no,
PR bonds?
my concern is that I let you out and something else happens. That's what.
Oh, no, sir. No, sir. No, sir. These
Because
are all old cases. These are all old cases. I haven't caught a new charge in years.
All right. Well,
And I've been in custody for 7 months already. This is the first time I come to this court. On the other question, these were 2 separate charges on Monday that I got PR bonds for.
Yeah.
And these other charges are for these on the 49th. I would appreciate it if you could just maybe reconsider giving me PR bonds across the board, and I'll see you
well,
whenever.
I've already given you PR bonds on the first 2. I'm deciding on the 2nd-degree felony because that's the more serious one.
Yes, sir. I understand.
No, and I'll go ahead and do that. It'll be a 12,000 PR bond for Mr. Sandoval, but Mr. Sandoval,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to hear about it if I made a bad decision here, but I'm taking you at your word that I'm not going to regret doing this, right?
You won't regret it, Mr. Garcia, sir.
Okay.
And it wasn't on the judge.
Yeah. Your Honor, I think it was more of a resisting arrest type of thing.
Yes, sir.
But, I mean, we won't get into it, but yeah, that it wasn't.
I got it.
And Your Honor, just for the record, Mr. Sandoval, can you please come to my office as soon as you get out? I mean, not as soon as you get out, but contact me, and that way we can make arrangements so you can come by the office, please.
You got it, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Hold on a second, because I got to report this.
Yes.
So 12,000 PR. What did I do on the Class A?
Class
think-
A, Your Honor, was a 4,000 PR bond.
4,000, yes.
And 2,000 on the Class B?
Yes, Your Honor.
Correct.
PR.
Mr. Del Barrio, just don't forget May 12th at 9
May
a.m.
12th. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I have a question, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. I made a mistake. Yeah, no, May 12th. Yes, May 12th at 9.
May 12th. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
you tell booking, they can confirm with me that yes, that he needs to be released.
Okay.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry.
heard that, right?
No, not you, Mr. Son. Well, yeah, you're gonna be released too, but no, it's somebody else. All right. Anything further before we move on?
No, Your Honor, not that I'm aware of. I believe that would take care of everything for him today.
Your Honor, Mr. Sandoval has a question.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, Judge Garcia, I just want to know the difference, like on, I heard 12,000, 10,000, they're all PR bonds anyway, right? They're
Doesn't
just-
make a
Correct.
difference. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, it is a
Awesome.
difference. I'll tell you what, it does make a difference.
Okay.
Even though it's a PR bond, if you don't show up, technically the state can sue you and say you owe us $12,000.
Okay, I just wanted to know that,
Yeah, no, but for right now, it doesn't make a difference.
okay, thank you, appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Vivario.
Thank you, Judge. You have a great day.
Up next, we have Lucio Enrique Gonzalez, Your Honor, from the 406.
Lucio Gonzalez. The court calls 2014 CRE 1195D4, State of Texas versus Lucio Enrique Gonzalez.
He has two charges, Your Honor, page 2 and 3.
Court also calls 2022 CRD 1283 D4, State of Texas versus Lucio Gonzalez or Enrique.
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor. This is Jonathan Garcia on behalf of Mr. Gonzalez. I'm the appointed attorney for both cases, Your Honor. And Your Honor, is he out so that to make sure that he's there? Ms. Calderon is the assigned prosecutor, Your Honor. An offer of 3 years had been conveyed. My client is not rejecting the offer. He's just simply asking the court allow him. He knows that he needs to do time, and he's fully aware of it. We're just asking that the court give us a couple of weeks so that we can renegotiate with Ms. Calderon, knowing that it's a time offer. And also, there's been something that has been going on in this case that my client is under the impression that the complaining witness made an affidavit of non-prosecution withdrawal. And I've been verifying with the prosecution, and I would like to see Ms. Calderon can say it on the record so that my client can hear it, so that he can be fully aware that there's no affidavit of non-prosecution in their possession, so that we can continue with this case.
Yes, Your Honor, Chris Calderon for state there at this time, we do not have a affidavit of non-prosecution, so my offer is still, I'm honoring the previous offer relief, so no objection to any resets.
Okay, so how much time do you need, Mr. Garcia? Because we have another setting on the 26th of this month in 7 days, and followed by May 2nd or May 11th.
Let's see. Hold on, Your Honor. Because I do have court. I just want to make sure I don't miss that court date. I have court on the federal court on the 28th. The court said that it's on the 26th.
Yes, in 7 days.
Okay, yeah, I should be able to hopefully in 7 days be able to come to an agreement on the plea.
All right, so we'll set you for a plea on the 26th at 9:30 with Judge Hale. Mr. Gonzalez, any questions about what's happening right now?
No, Your Honor, no, my lawyer already explained to me and all that, but I understand a little bit because I'm a mental patient and I drink medications right now. I got 5 months drinking my medication, so I can understand a little bit. But after I stop drinking my medications, I will not understand.
Well, I'm not asking you to tell us anything right now, but are you understanding what just happened? We're resetting your case and there's a possible plea in the works?
Okay.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Garcia?
No, Your Honor, that will be all.
All right, we'll see you in 7 days then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor. Angel Cerda, 406, you would need an interpreter.
That will be page 3, Your Honor.
Court calls 2023 CRF 157D4, the state of Texas versus Cerda. Buenas tardes, señor Cerda. Is your interpreter? Yes. Miss. Miss, your last name, Bayan, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so, Mr. Cerda, you're here on your first appearance after the charges were filed against you. I'm going to ask your attorney if he has an announcement for you regarding those charges, okay?
Señor Cerda, está compareciendo usted aquí, es su primera comparecencia debido a los cargos que se han tramitado en su contra. Le voy a preguntar a su abogado si tiene un anuncio que hacer. ¿Está bien?
Sí.
Yes.
Who's here for the public defender's office?
Your Honor, which case is this?
State of Texas versus Angel Cerda.
For present, Your Honor.
Ms. Mendiola?
Separate arraignment.
Yes. Is this Fred's case or your case?
It's my case. Well, I don't know. We're just arraigning for the 406, Your Honor.
In that case, Your Honor, if it's an arraignment, we could just, my client pleads not guilty, waives formal reading of the of the indictment and requests pretrial setting.
En ese caso, yes, en ese caso, si mi cliente, si es solamente una lectura de cargos, mi cliente se declara no culpable y está pidiendo una audiencia previa al juicio que se le dé una fecha.
Marco,
Informal pretrial set for June 7th, Your Honor, at 2 p.m.
Entonces, se va la audiencia previa al juicio informal será el 7 de junio a las 2 de la tarde.
And Your Honor, I'm not sure, is he in custody for this case?
No,
Was
Your Honor,
he-
he's not in custody for this case. He's in custody for a new charge. He has a bond of 75,000 cash bail surety.
¿Y está él bajo custodia para este cargo? No, su señoría, él está bajo detenido para un caso nuevo y está bajo fianza perdón, una fianza en efectivo por, I'm sorry, 7,500.
75,000 cash bail surety.
Por $75,000 fianza en efectivo.
In that case, that we have nothing further, Your Honor. We just need I think we just got the date.
Entonces, no nada más, su señoría, creo que ya obtuvimos la fecha.
but Mr. Trevino, just, you may not know the answer to this. But do you know if your office did that for bond reviews today?
I know we submitted a list for bond reviews today. I don't know if this one was on it, Your Honor. Or if the bond he has for the new charges on that list today.
Well, yeah, just an FYI. I think it was, but it was denied. And I wanted more information, and also because he's only been incarcerated 12 days.
Yes, Your Honor.
If it's the one I'm thinking about. Okay,
Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Mercado is checking to see if he was on the list for bond review.
okay. But actually, the one I think denied had like 4 counts. But it
Just
was-
Cassandra, those for the state on this case, I can see here that the other case he has is on a new victim, and it's also an indecency with a child by sexual contact, and it's a new victim.
Yeah, but there was one that came up for bond review, which was denied. I don't know if it was this one, but they wanted a bond reduction, which was denied.
Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Mercado says it was not this defendant.
Okay, that's fine. Then it was someone else, okay. All right, I'm not going to adjust anything right now, so. Anything further, Mr. Trevino?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, we'll see you back in court in June, Mr. Cerda.
Señor Cerda, lo volvemos a ver en el tribunal en junio.
Buena suerte. Good luck.
Up next, Your Honor, we have Clint Aldaco from the 341st.
Page 1, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Marina Brizuela with the Public Defender's Office for Mr. Aldaco.
Court calls 2018 CRL 107D3, the state of Texas versus Catlin Aldaco.
Your Honor, at this time, I did just receive a new offer from the state that I have to convey to my client. If we can reset it for next week.
Okay, I'm assuming it's a better offer.
It's just a different offer, Judge, that I have to come. I know he wants to proceed today, but I have to talk to him first.
Yeah, I understand. Mr. Aldaco, can you unmute him?
Yes, sir.
It sounded like you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I'm not trying to reset. I mean, I understand she has to talk to me, but man, I got a family out there. I know I should have thought about this before all of this, but I've been incarcerated 105 days. I have 2 years and 2 months back time, if not 2 years. and
Mr.
2 months
Aldaco,
back time for this charge, sir. I mean, I told you I'd agree to whatever they offer.
Mr. Aldaco, let's wait first so that I can talk to you and then you can make your choice.
But you're not the one incarcerated, man. That's the thing.
It's just gonna be for next week, Mr. Hidalgo.
It's
All right. Yeah, and this causes problems for your attorney and for you as well if we try to proceed based on limited knowledge, Mr. Aldaco. Normally, I would want to get as many cases done today as possible, but you have to be able to, or else you can come back later and complain that you weren't fully apprised of all your options. So, but it'll be 7 days, April 26th at 9:30 in the morning.
is it better off than- is it better-
And
is it better off-
it's going to be a time to serve.
It's gonna be a time to serve offer, Judge. So I need to explain it to Mr. Aldaco and explain to him his time that he has.
I'd rather not, I'd rather just do the 90-day sanction.
Mr. Aldaco, I need to talk to you. It changed. We need to talk about that.
Okay. We'll be back on the 26th then at 9:30. All right, good luck, everyone.
Your Honor, we have Silvano Benavides to be for the 406.
Page 4, Your Honor.
Omar Salinas, Mr. Benavides, Your Honor.
Court calls 2022 CRH 529D4, the state of Texas versus Silvano Andres Benavides. Good afternoon, Mr. Benavides. Mr. Benavides, do you understand English?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So based on the information I have in front of me, it sounds like you have an agreement with the district attorney's office in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah, and I have it in front of me right now. So let me ask you to raise your right hand to be sworn in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Benavides, you're here with your attorney, Mr. Salinas. Have you had enough time to talk to him about your case and ask him questions? And has he explained to you what's going to happen here today?
Yes, Your Honor. We've had enough time.
Have you been satisfied with the services he's provided to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
And is there anything that you need to tell me now that prevents you from understanding what's happening today?
That prevents me from what's happening? Understanding? No, Your Honor. I understand what's going on.
Okay, and Mr. Salinas, your client is competent to go forward today with trial.
Yes, Your Honor, we can proceed.
So I'm looking at the agreement here, and it looks like we're going to proceed on the lesser included offense. We swore him in, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Benavides, is your true and correct name Silvano Andres Benavides?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you've been satisfied with the services he's provided to you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the plea package, did your attorney go over this with you before you signed it?
Yes, he did.
Do you have any questions about this plea package?
No, we discussed it already.
In here, you're telling me that you're giving up certain rights, and the first right you're giving up is a right to remain silent. You do not have to plead guilty today. You have the right to have a jury hear your case and have a jury assess your punishment. Do you understand that you're giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Also, if there were witnesses and evidence that were going to be presented against you, you have the right to confront those witnesses and evidence at trial. You're giving up that right as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, if I go along with this agreement and I approve it, and I give you the punishment along the lines of this agreement, you cannot complain about that punishment to a higher court. unless you get special permission from this court. Do you understand that?
I understand, Your Honor.
Now I have to ask everyone this question. Are you a US citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
And I understand that you're telling me that you are in fact a US citizen, but again, I have to tell everyone this. If you are not a US citizen and you plead guilty, you could be subject to deportation, denied the re-entry into the United States, and denied the right to become a US citizen. Do you understand that?
I understand.
I also have to warn you about the maximum punishment a person could receive if being found guilty for a felony 2 robbery in the state of Texas. The maximum punishment you could possibly get is a term between 2 and 20 years in a state prison and a fine not to exceed $10,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, having discussed all these things, and do you still want to go forward with your plea of guilty today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense waiving formal reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor, we waive that at this time.
And is the state offering state's exhibits 1, 2, and 3 into evidence?
Yes, Judge Ana Garza for the state, we offer exhibits 1, 2, and 3.
No objections, Your Honor.
States 1, 2, and 3 will be admitted into evidence. So as to the sole charge we're proceeding on, Mr. Benavides, robbery, felony 2, how do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Your Honor, I plead guilty.
Are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody forced you to plead guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
And aside from the agreement that you have with the state of Texas, has anyone promised you anything else to plead guilty?
No promises have been made, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty before this court because you're accepting responsibility for that offense?
I accept full responsibility for the offense, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Benavides, based on your testimony today and the evidence before the court, I am going to accept your plea of guilty and find you guilty of that offense. I find that your plea of guilty was made freely and voluntarily. The court is also going to approve the agreement that you have with the state of Texas, and your punishment will be assessed to serve 2 years in the state prison, also known as TDCJ. You will be given credit for time served. And just out of curiosity, how much is that?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I don't think he's close to the 2 years. So.
No, I mean, yeah, I'm just. The court is going to dismiss, as part of this agreement, counts 2 and 3. And approve as an agreement that the district attorneys will not accept for prosecution their file number C22870L2, assault, date of offense 5/1/2022, and file number PF CC23651L2, failure to ID, date of offense March 22, 2023. As indicated, the court is going to grant Mr. Benavides credit for all time served. And there's a request that I waive court costs. And when was the last time you worked, Mr. Benavides?
That would be prior to my TDC incarceration, Your Honor. 2019.
So, and then they transferred you over here, and you've been in jail for about a month?
Yes, Your Honor. I came from the halfway house in Austin, Texas. And before that, I was the Texas Department of Criminal Justice.
All right. Is this the last thing you have pending?
This is the last thing I have pending, Your Honor.
No, all court costs and fees will be waived.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, any questions, Mr. Benavides, as to what just happened?
No, Your Honor, I understand completely what just happened.
All right. Well, good luck, Mr. Benavides. Hopefully your time will pass quickly, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Salinas?
No, Your Honor, and that's all for me. You may be excused.
You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Up next, we have Carlos Ramos, Your Honor, from the 341st, and he's requesting a Spanish interpreter.
I'm sorry, what was the name?
Page 2, Your Honor. 341st docket, page 2.
Court calls 2020 CRM 672D3, the state of Texas versus Carlos Ramos.
Yes, Your Honor, I represent Mr. Ramos, and we do have an agreement in this case.
Is this a plea or MTR? Let me see.
It's an MTR final hearing.
And the agreement is?
The agreement is for my client to be plead true to all conditions to 14 months to serve with credit.
El acuerdo es de que mi cliente se declare o declare que es verdad bajo todas las condiciones, 14 meses para servir con el tiempo que ya ha servido acreditado.
Mr. Ramos, is that your understanding of the agreement you have with the state of Texas?
Señor Ramos, ¿eso es lo que usted tiene entendido en cuanto al acuerdo que tiene con el estado de Texas?
Sí, señorita.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Ramos, can you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
Señor Ramos, ¿puede levantar su mano derecha para ponerlo bajo juramento?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
¿Jura usted decir la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad y lo jura ante Dios?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes.
Your true and correct name is Carlos Ramos?
Su nombre cierto, correcto y verdadero es Carlos Ramos.
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about what is happening here right now?
¿Tiene alguna pregunta acerca de lo que está ocurriendo aquí ahorita?
No, ahorita pregunta, pues nomás si iba a preguntar a mi abogada si ya con esto ya cumplía, no tengo que servirle nada de provecho ni nada cuando salga ni nada de.
Well, the question is that I just wanted to ask my attorney that if with this I had to not owe probation or anything like that.
Judge, yes, and I had already explained that to Mr. Ramos, that his probation will technically be over after this plea of term.
Juez ya se le había explicado eso a él, que la libertad condicional ya iba a ser terminada si se declara esto como verdadero.
Okay, todo está bien.
Everything's fine then.
Well, the district attorney's office filed the motion to revoke your probation, indicating that you violated all your conditions of probation.
Bueno, la fiscalía tramitó una moción para revocar su libertad condicional, indicando que usted estuvo en incumplimiento de todas las condiciones de su libertad condicional.
As to those allegations, how do you plead, true or not true?
En cuanto a esas alegaciones, ¿cómo se declara usted? ¿Eso es cierto o no es cierto?
Sí, es cierto.
It's true.
And you're pleading true, freely, and voluntarily?
Y está usted declarándose que es cierto, libre y voluntariamente.
Sí, señorita.
Yes.
No one's forcing you to plead true.
Y nadie lo está forzando a declararse que eso es cierto.
No, nadie me está forzando.
No, no one is forcing me.
I'm going to accept your plea of true. I find that it has been made freely and voluntarily.
Voy a aceptar su declaración de decir que es verdadero y voy a determinar que lo ha hecho libre y voluntariamente.
The court is also going to go along with the agreement
El juez también va a seguir el acuerdo.
your punishment shall be assessed to serve 14 months in a state prison.
Entonces su castigo es de servir 14 meses en una prisión estatal.
You will be given credit for time served.
A usted se le va a dar crédito por el tiempo que ya ha servido.
And is that it, Miss?
That would be a judge.
Any questions about what just happened, Mr. Ramos?
Señor Ramos, ¿alguna pregunta acerca de lo que acaba de ocurrir?
A mí una pregunta.
No, no questions.
All right. Good luck. Buena suerte, señor.
Gracias.
And Your Honor, that's all we have for the 341st. May we be excused?
The public defender's office, right?
Likewise, the Public Defender's Office.
The public defender's office from 341st is excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Next, Your Honor, we have Jeremy Aaron Lara, 406.
Page 4 and 5, Your Honor.
The court calls 2021 CRD 1361D4 and 2021 CRH 1291D4, the state of Texas versus Jeremy Aaron Lara.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Russell Jordan for Mr. Lara.
Good afternoon, Mr. Jordan.
There was a capias taken out of the 406. I believe it was about April of 2022. And I'd ask the court to consider setting a bond on those two cases. Your Honor, my client had been up in Midland working, and for whatever reason, we had lost communication, but he has two matters pending there in the 406, and he was arrested on something, and I was appointed to represent him on a fairly new matter from last week, sir. So he has that holding him as well. In light of all those things, I'd ask the court to consider reasonable bonds on these two cases, sir.
So what was the bond that I might have been me? What was the bond that I set? But what was the bond amount and for what was the offense?
The new offense, sir?
Yes.
I believe it was criminal trespass, an assault charge, I believe a robbery charge, and I believe the total amount of those bonds was somewhere in the area of $30,000, if I'm not mistaken, sir.
And I'm assuming they were in Webb County, so he was down here and didn't report?
I'm assuming so, sir. I hadn't had contact with him for about a year, sir.
So what's going on here, Mr. Lara?
I just been up and down out of state, in and out of state, just working, sir, trying to get back on my feet, trying to stay out of trouble. I never spoke with Mr. Russell Jordan due to many reasons. I didn't have phone. I know I'm supposed to go and report, go find the, attorney's office or, but as for right now, I'm just, I'm looking and seeking for probation. That way I can just get in the ball, get straight heads, just be working and working and working. That's it. That's my priority right now.
Did I magistrate you at the jail?
Monday?
Was it me that set those other bonds, or was it the other judge?
It was you, Your Honor.
Have you posted those bonds or no? You still?
Oh, sir. I have no one to bond.
Judge, would you like the information you set on those bonds and charges?
Well, I've got a good idea. There are 3 charges.
There's 4, Your Honor. Burglary of a vehicle, burglary of a building, criminal trespass, and possession of marijuana. 19,000 total, Judge.
19, not 30.
Yes, Your Honor, 19.
Do you have family here in Webb County?
And Laredo, yeah, but it's, it's complicated, holding grudges, a lot of, how Laredo is, Your Honor. But right now I'm to myself, I'm just trying to get back on my feet, be on probation. That way I can just get straight to it. Cause
Well, I'm not too
look
happy.
back on track. I'm sorry, Your Honor. If you look back on track, you run my social, you can go ahead and see that I've been just working.
What were you doing in Michigan?
Tying rebar, working in silos. That's
You
just
welder?
no, I tie rebar.
Oh. What happens if you get out? I mean, where are you gonna live?
I have some friends I can stay with, that can help me out. Right now, if I do get out, my thing is just to go straight to the DPS, tell mom I'm taking the DPS, get my ID, leave on the 22 to work. I mean, if
Leave
y'all
where?
allow me,
You can't
y'all
leave.
allow me to work.
Well,
just
yeah, but you need permission to leave the county. Where are you planning on working?
Silos. I have
Where you
have
still
two
have
types-
work?
Yeah, I have 2 jobs I can attend. It's a water transfer and the silos over there in Delhi.
You didn't pick up any charges when you were in Michigan?
In Michigan, no, sir. I did get stopped by passing a stop sign. That's about it. I just had a ticket, sir. That's about it. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm surprised they didn't hold you and send you down to us.
Yeah, I know. I told him, I gave him my ID, I gave him my information. I told him I had a warrant. They said, you know what, we can go ahead and let you go. Just we're gonna give you a ticket. And they gave me a ticket, Your Honor.
Well, look, this is a deal. I'm gonna set bond, but there's gonna be some conditions, and one of those conditions is going to be that you cannot leave the county without getting permission. Now, normally, I'll tell you,
Yes, sir.
if you're gonna leave the county to work, I'll work with you, but the problem is that you need to understand that you need to take care of these 2 old charges. They're not gonna go away. And you're gonna have to stay in contact. I think what I'm gonna do, Mr. Jordan,
Yes, sir.
he has 3 charges right now pending with me. The 3rd-degree felony and 2 second-degree felonies. I'm going to set $10,000 bonds on each through pretrial services, but that is going to come with a biweekly reporting. Now, if in fact you have a job, can you get proof?
I'm sorry?
Will your employer send a letter saying that you have a job to go to?
Matter of fact, I can bring the person with me to DPS or to the attorney's office or to Dory.
No, you need something from, you need
Like
to
this.
bring pretrial services because you're gonna be reporting to them every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And if you do have a job, you need to make sure that either myself or Judge well, no, in this case, it's Judge Hale is giving you permission to go work. That way, we can allow you to report by phone with pretrial services. But while you're here right now, you're gonna have to report in person
All right.
every 2 weeks. So
Your Honor, was that 10,000 per count?
per count. So that's about $900 in total for those 3 bonds to get out. $300 bucks each. And that's going to include biweekly reporting.
Judge, if we could just get a phone number for somebody to contact about the bonds.
Who can they call, Mr. Lara?
For right now, I mean, I can give you my mom's phone number, but I'm on my own right now. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I recommended probation. That way I could, you know, work on myself, get on my feet, pay what I gotta pay, court fees, drug tests, classes, you know.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you're kind of jumping the gun here. You can't get probation until you're found guilty or you plead. I'm giving you an opportunity to get out. If I put a regular bond on you, the fee is going to be really high. And I have no way of keeping tabs on you. So I'm doing it through pretrial services. They only charge 3%. So you'd mentioned you had, I mean, you haven't talked to anyone while you've been in jail?
Nope.
What about your friends that you mentioned? You were gonna
Just Messenger and Facebook. That's about it. Some phone numbers are on the phone, but I don't got them right now. I can give you my mom's phone number.
She might be willing to because it's really a lot less. So what's the phone number? Because they're gonna contact her to see if she's willing to do that for you.
956-898-8238.
And what we'll do, Mr. Jordan,
Yes, sir.
Marco, when are we gonna give his informal?
Their final pretrial, Your Honor. We
Oh,
would need a final pretrial on the jury selection.
well, before we do that, let's do this, Mr. Jordan. I'm setting those bonds, but I'm gonna set it for a status with me.
Okay.
On the 17th.
Perfect, sir.
If he's unable to get out, then we'll consider adjusting that further.
At that time, perfect. In the meantime, I'll do what I can to help Mr. Lara, you know, make these bonds and see if I can't sort these matters in the 406 out at a minimum.
Were you appointed on the other cases as well?
Yes, sir.
Just, you know, if you end up having to come to that status, be prepared to address all his bonds.
Yes, sir, I will. I'll file the appropriate motion, sir.
All right,
Your Honor, what time will it be on May 17th?
at 1 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes,
Your Honor, we still have one more case on the 341st, page 1, and Mr. Gallegos is present. He has a short announcement.
oh, okay. All right. All right, Mr. Lara,
Thank you.
good luck.
Yeah, that's all I have. If I may be excused, sir.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Jordan.
Thank you so much.
Judge,
Your
I
Honor,
believe that's all for the 406.
406 is excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Your Honor, may the jail be excused. Also on one matter before I forget, Victor Antonio Puente, 49th, we did not have a writ for him.
Did you get that, Alma? Or Fernando?
Yes, Judge, I did.
Your Honor, I've this is Fred Trevino for Mr. Puente. I've conferred with him several times. We're waiting on a federal case that he's being held on. And we're hoping that whatever he gets on the federal side, we can run it concurrent. So if we could get not 30, maybe a 45-day reset, find out what's going on with the federal. His attorney's David Almaraz. I've been in contact with him as well.
We'll set it for June 8th at 8 a.m.
Thank you.
That's it for the web kind of Joe, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Your Honor, I believe there was one writ of habeas, but I think we
Hold on, let me
non-suited
get
that.
Mr. Gallegos real quick, and then we'll talk about the habeas.
Judge, I still, did we get rid of Rogelio Rene Hernandez on page 2 on the top?
Yes, what?
Oy.
Yeah, he was reset for a plea at,
April 26th at 9:30.
there you go.
Thank you, Miss Jocelyn.
You're welcome, Salma.
I'm sorry, the court calls 2017 CRL 86063, the state of Texas versus Jose Luis Martinez. Mr. Gallegos?
I don't see him anymore, Your Honor. I'll reset this case.
All right. No, it's
May
arraignment.
4th. Yeah, May 4th at 8:30. He's not in custody, Your Honor.
May 4th, 8:30. All right.
Yes. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, and Mr. Trevino?
We had a writ, Your Honor, but we filed a motion to non-suit. The arrest, like the requesting county came and picked him up.
No, okay. Oh, how many days late?
I think they were a couple of days late, but too late now. They
Yeah,
got
yeah.
him.
What was his name?
You know, I don't have the file, Your Honor,
So why are you bothering us with it then?
because I was told that the writ was set for today, and I just wanted to make sure it was on the record that we had non-suited,
Okay, anything
not
from
forgotten.
anyone? Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
Your Honor, for the 49th, for page 3 for Julio Cesar Luna, it was gonna be set for clarification.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and set it for Friday because he's not in custody. We'll talk about it on Friday's docket.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All right, everyone's excused. Thank you all.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you later, Mr. Johnson.
Judge, you're not leaving, are you?
What was that?
You're not leaving yet, are you?
No, I'm in chambers. I gotta still sign the plea packages.
Okay, I'm gonna take something to your office.
Well, it's money.
No, it's not money, but it's sweet.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be here for a little bit.
Okay, Judge, I'll be on my way.